Would it be crazy if I told you I edit all of my carousels that I post on Instagram in DaVinci Resolve? Now, I wasn't planning on making this video, but since I'm doing my Christmas series, I'm gonna make this video and show you guys exactly how I make carousels. Yes, I'm talking physical pictures that you can post on Instagram in DaVinci Resolve, as crazy as it sounds. It's actually really easy, and I think it's more easier than Photoshop, but that's my personal opinion because I personally edit in DaVinci Resolve, so I know all the ins and outs of it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in today's video, and let's just hop straight in. All right, so the first thing in DaVinci Resolve is we're gonna hit Shift 9 and make sure you put your exact timeline resolution to 1080 and then to 1350 because this is how Instagram works. So the very first thing we're going to do is come over to the effects page and grab an adjustment clip. All right, now head into the Fusion page with this adjustment clip. We're going to delete the media one out and hit Shift space for fast noise. Attach this fast noise to the media one out, and then in the middle of this fast noise, we're going to type in some grain and add the grain in as well. Now in the fast noise, we're going to turn the detail down, and then we're going to also come over to color, and we're going to select the gradient, and over here we're going to choose the exact color that we want. So I really want a nice dark blue, so I'm going to come here and grab a nice dark blue. Then I'm going to come to the white, and then we're just going to make this black. Now as you can see, it's looking really good, and we're getting a clean, crispy background already just off the rip. Now we can kind of play around with the contrast that we want. You can play around with the brightness. I'm going to personally turn the brightness up just a little bit, and then also just kind of get it to where you want it, but I want to get it to where it's very subtle. Maybe you can also turn down the scale or turn up the scale, maybe change the angle if you want to, but nonetheless, this is going to move around. It's going to look really cool. So boom, now we have a gradient, and then this is just going to be the bare bones. It's going to be the background of what we're going to make for our DaVinci Resolve carousel. Now in my carousel, I literally put a picture to the right and to the left, and it's going to be basically like a before and after using my preset packs that I have. And so basically I'm going to import this into the left over here. Now how I was able to do this is all you do is you literally just, let's say you go in here. Now for me personally, if I literally make a short form content workflow, like my footage is already going to be gray. So if I just bring this in alone, it's already going to be gray. So if I bring this in, boom, we already have it done. And if we zoom out, we'll get that perfect exact thing that we're looking for. So what you could do is, as you can see, I mean, this is the exact clip that I used. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of these right when I start talking. So this is about how big I'm going to want it. So I'm going to want it at about 0.33. And then I'm just going to simply duplicate this. And then now if you were in your timeline, you would essentially just go ahead and color grade that footage. So for me, this would be my color graded footage. And then now what we could do is we could create these as compound clips. That way they stay in that exact position. Now I'm going to move this one over to the left, and I'm going to move this one over to the right. Now you can kind of get the gist of like what we're going to be doing. Now a secret little trick you can do is come over to the effects page, and I actually made this preset that is a grid, and it's going to just basically show exactly where we need to line up our footage. And how you do that is you just simply come over here and grab an adjustment clip, and then go to OpenFX and search grid and apply it onto your adjustment clip. And then what you need to do in the grid settings is change them to 2 row cells, 2 column cells, and 4 major line spacings. So now this is there. I can literally just delete this, and now I know that they're centered. Now what I'm going to do to get some emojis, and I'm going to bring down a basic text title, not a text plus, and I'm going to delete this. I'm going to hit Fn on my keyboard. This is going to bring up this, and I'm going to bring in the check mark button. We're going to duplicate this, and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to bring in the red X. So boom, now we have the red X. Now we could place these above both of our contents that we have here. So we will place these both up here, and now you could kind of see where we're going with this. I'm going to place the X over here in this left corner, and then we are going to now take the check mark, and we are going to put it in the right corner, right about there. Now sometimes it's going to snap, so what you could do is you can come over to the position, bring it about, I wanted to just put it in the corner, and then I'm also going to put it at a rotation angle of about -18.7, and then this one you would just do 18.7, take off the negative, that way it faces the other way. Now for this one, we're just going to bring it down, match it up pretty much identical to what we have over there, and we're just going to bring it over to the left, making it look seamless and, you know, identical. So now we have our still frame with our emojis basically saying, yo, this is not the wave, but this is the wave. Okay, and so you can kind of mess around with this a little more, however long you want to mess around with this for to get the emojis to look right. You know, you just got to make them look right. There's going to be a point in time where you just make them look right. Now I'm not going to lie, I did not leave enough room up here for a caption. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these all together at once because it doesn't really matter, and I'm going to create them all as their own separate compound clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all of these together and I'm gonna create it as a new compound clip. And this is gonna group them together so I can push them down just a little bit. That way I have room up here for a nice juicy text title. Perfect. Now we're going to make the title. Now, to be clear, guys, this is what we're going to be making today. Just a heads up. So this is exactly what we're going to be replacing in today's video. So now that we have this, we are going to now finally make the title. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab down a text plus just like this, boom. And then I'm going to either use the font Lazy Dog, which looks really sick. It's like a custom hand font, like hand drawn. It looks super sick. Or I have this font that I bought called the Fin Scribbler. It's super tough. It's basically the same thing. So then I'm going to say how to make. I'm going to put that up here. Now you can get Lazy Dog for free. And then this is a personal font that I bought from a creator. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to simply duplicate this. And then I'm going to say your content. And then I'm going to simply put the title text font Helvetica. And I'm going to do bold. And then we're just going to size this up just like this. And we're going to bring this down right here. And then we're going to duplicate that again. And then we're going to type out stand out. And then we are going to bring that down one more time. Now, as you can see, we made the perfect amount of space. It looks super sick. Now, you guys are probably wondering how I got that original yellow stuff and then the blur. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that too. So the first things first is we need to deactivate the stuff that we're not going to use. So we're going to not use the how to make. So I'm going to hit D on my keyboard. And then I'm going to come to this one right here, your content. And I'm going to go to the Fusion page with this text title. Now in the template, I'm going to come to the text box. I'm going to right click and hit character level stylings. I'm going to go to modifiers and I'm going to highlight content and I'm going to create it at this nice yellow font, just like that, or the yellow color. And now we're going to do that exact same thing on the other one, except we're going to do it on stand because then it's just going to look, it's going to match and it's going to look super sick anyways. So we're going to highlight stand. Then we're going to make the stand and we're going to match it to our best ability. It should look pretty similar. I mean, once you get used to it, you'll know what you're doing. Now we're going to go into the first one and I'm actually going to add in what's called a shift space for a blur. And then we're going to crank up that blur to about 7.9, maybe 8. And then on the blur, we're going to add an ellipse tool. And then on this ellipse tool, we're going to bring it out just like that. We're going to leave it like right there by the stand, STA, and then we're going to turn up the soft edge, and then we're going to kind of like put it like right there. Cool. And then we can literally just go ahead and copy this and head into the other text title of content and then paste it in here and just hold shift and then let go. But this time we're just going to bring that over here. So then all you have to do is just add that in. So that way you don't have to redo it. Now, if we enable all of this and we just literally, I mean, that looks so crispy. And by the way, to be clear, this video got, it's on my phone, it shows me, but it got like 20,000 views on Instagram. So these types of stuff work. And so that's pretty much how you do that. Now, as far as finding like assets like this stuff where you see that middle place right there, where it's like a nice arrow, all I did is went to Canva and I'm just going to search for a paper arrow. And as you can see, you see all of these paper arrows. Like, I mean, I even could have used this one and then we just imported into DaVinci Resolve. So boom, after we actually import in DaVinci Resolve, and then all we have to do is size it to our liking. So I had it at 0.2, position at 16, and then position Y at -88. And then boom, now we have what seems to be a nice crispy arrow. Okay, and then what you would do is how you actually save this photo. This is the biggest part, and I need you guys to pay attention to how I'm about to do this. You need to go to the color page right here, and you need to go to your stills. Now, as you can see, I literally made my whole carousel all right here within DaVinci Resolve, and this is everything you're seeing on Instagram right here. So this is all the stuff right here. All I did was I come here and I click inside this box. I'm gonna right click inside this box, and I'm gonna hit grab still. This is gonna pop up over here. I'm going to then right click again and go export this frame. And what it's going to do is it's going to pop up this window, and you may have this only files on, the TIFF files on. Make sure you pick the JPEG PNG, either one of these files. You're going to want to pick the JPEG or the PNG files, or you won't end up getting that image. So anyways, then once you right click, you go to export. And then once you have this preset already saved right here, it'll always be like that, but then you just hit export. So if you want to name this, you know, carousel number 1, like you could name it whatever you want to name it. And then that's pretty much as simple as it's going to get. Now I'm going to show you guys how to get this exact last one. This one is another personal favorite. This is like the CTA that I did, and it's actually just pretty much the same properties, and I'm going to show you guys how I did it. So all you have to do is literally copy over that exact background that you just made, and then what we're going to end up doing is bringing in that thumbnail that I had, which is the asset that I used. But anyways, we're going to bring this thumbnail in here, and we're going to position it to where we want it. Now this is the thumbnail, this is the CTA that I'm going to be making. Okay, so we're going to do the same exact properties. We're going to bring down a text plus, we're going to search up Helvetica, we're going to do bold, and we're going to type out number 4 watch this video, and then we're going to place that above my thumbnail right here. Now you're wondering how I got this outline. It's the same stuff. You're gonna come to Canva, and I'm gonna search a red underline on Canva, and as you can see, look at all these sick red underlines. They're red. You could change the color, whatever you want. But anyways, I come to DaVinci Resolve, and so this is the red underline that I use right here. So we're gonna copy this over just because I already have it in here. And so what I did was I went into the Fusion page, and I actually added a shift space, and I added a glow. So but before we add the glow, I'm actually going to put this in the position that I want it. So I'm going to put it under this video, so right there, and I'm going to hit a new compound clip. And by the way, all I'm doing is hitting, just right clicking right there. And then after this, we're going to hit shift space for a glow, and then just make this look a little better, mess with the settings. Bring this back in, it enhances it, and it gives it this nice glow, and it just looks so crispy. Now for the last part, all I did was add the CTA, so I used the Fen Scribbler, or you guys can use the Lazy Dog, and I'm going to do comment, watch, and then I place this down below at the bottom of my video. And then I added a couple more arrows, but for the most part, I mean, that's how you can ice up your carousels in DaVinci Resolve. It's really just about getting creative and placing the videos where you want them to be placed. So for this one, I keep it like that. And then all I do is go back to the color page, I right click and I hit grab still. I come to the still, I'm gonna right click again, I'm gonna hit export, and then I'm gonna hit export down here, and then it'll show up in my downloads. And it's that simple. I told you guys it was gonna be a super easy, simple tutorial in today's video, and that is how I make carousels in DaVinci Resolve. And that's how I make banger carousels in DaVinci Resolve. And so can you. And if you're a content creator, then you will really benefit from this because you can mostly do this in the beginners, just the free version to begin with. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. This is day 8 of posting for my Christmas marathon. Thank you guys so much for staying along for this journey. It's going to be a wild one. We gotta finish strong for the month. So thank you guys. Praise the Lord. And I'll see you guys in the next video.